Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just wanted to do a pop up episode about rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Really excited about doing this episode, so thank you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Just really wanted to do an episode today with a partner of ours, Cornell. He's on the line. We have a bunch of people that inquired about the trading and trading forex, trading. What is that? Trading forex. What else to trade in? Trading futures. What else is being traded out there, Cornell?
Binary options, stocks, a whole bunch of stuff.
All right. Well, greetings. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you for joining us. What would you say is your we'll introduce about who you are and what you got going on because we really want to just go ahead and extend the conversation today.
Who I am,
Yeah, 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 yeah. At least with the trading, because a lot of people are emailing the vault about the trading. They've heard episodes about the trading, and this relates to the rights, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Because I remember when I first connected with you, you the way the confidence, you said, hey, I make a couple $1,000s a day trading. I'm like, man, I always go back to this story because I up until that point in my life, which was about 27, 28, never heard anybody say, oh man, you can control your income. When people say, oh, I'm an introvert, you could truly be an introvert and make money, and you don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be this gregarious person where you have to go out and talk to people. People say, oh, you need to network. Here, let's start it out early. When people say, oh, you need to carry a business card, why does Cornell need to carry a business card when he's a trader? He don't need to talk to anybody to trade. So why does he need a business card? So when we do workshops together, he's the one that's traditionally going to dress down. But Cornell can dress down. What'd your mentor say, Cornell, about trading? He said, why am I gonna sit in the house with a shirt and tie? When he said this ain't how people really trade. Could you talk about that? The look that people have when they trading? When people talk to me about, oh, I have rights, liberty, but my pursuit of happiness is not to sit in the clothes that I want to sit in. You there, Cornell? You muted out. Alrighty. Cornell, you muted out real quick, man. Well, just to let you all know, Cornell,
oh
you
yeah,
there? You muted out, man? You good?
nah, it'll mess up right when I'm sitting there.
Well, could you talk about what your mentor mentioned to you when we talk about the trade and the look of it?
You control your own money. Then letting a broker go in and take your 401k money, and then when they lose money at the end of the year, tell you it's gonna rebound in a couple of years. With trading, you making money when the market up and down. So you pretty much can go in and make $50 a day, $100 a day, or $1,000 a day, or whatever you want to make once you learn. And you don't have to talk to anybody. Your money go directly to your account. You withdraw your money whenever you want to withdraw your money. And that's that. I ain't gotta have a conversation with a broker. I use a broker, but it's pretty much you're in control of everything. So if you lose, you're losing because of yourself. Not because somebody else and took your money so they could do this and couldn't do it. So, like I said, I don't have to wear a suit sitting at the house. I can trade anywhere. I can go outside, I can go to the beach, I can go to the restaurant, library. It doesn't matter. Got a laptop connection or my phone, I'm good. And most people can't do that.
Now, well, let's talk about it being a skill. Always related to the being able to ride a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you'll never forget. So, could you elaborate on how it's a trade, a skill?
Oh, just like learn how to cut hair. It's just like your job. Once you got it, it's repetition. One thing about the market, we talk about the market is being manipulated, people. And that's what we talk about on the webinar. Like the same thing is happening every day because here's what they do. They put a complicated system in. Everybody think they're the smartest person in the world. But in reality, rich people don't make their money the hard way. But they do know how to trick you. They do know how to use emotion. They do know how to use a mindset. People don't use the basic characteristics to understand that. That's why you don't make no money. It ain't about you having a master's degree or a PhD and all that. Most of the guys, if you go do your research on most of the people you look up to, they don't have a deep college background. They had a mindset. That's what trading is. You learning a repetition that doesn't change, that you're gonna have for the rest of your life when you learn it and make your money. Nobody's controlling your money. So as we was talking like about the recession on the last one, that's where the recession come in. You guys thinking because you're at your job and you got a decent job that you're okay. But what I asked last time, what are you gonna do when them people come in and close them doors? Do you have enough money saved? Nobody will ever save enough money to survive the rest of their life
Facts.
unless you just unless you just take out all the necessities and live like the stick. That's it. But you got to go out and create income. So if you're not going out and create income on your own, you're gonna get stuck in that trap. And most people get stuck in the trap. So when you hear Cornell say you making thousands of dollars, get what? It's more than Cornell that I didn't talk that's making it. So you ain't just got to listen to me making it. A lot of people make that because they took the time and learned the craft. Now you got to believe that you can make some money. You don't believe you make no money, then we wasting time. I tell you that you wasting time. If you confident, hey, my 50, 60, $100,000 job, good. I'm straight. I've been doing this. I'm balling out. Get what? I done met people that been balling out for 15 years on the job, but then they laid them off, and now they ain't got half the money they had saved already gone. They don't know how to go create no income, and you back to square one. Boom! After 15 years,
All right.
and I learned that I wasn't gonna put myself in that position.
So let's talk about the part-time entrepreneurs, because some people they got to do a part-time. They're making a transition. So we're not going to talk about the transitioners. The true transitioners means you're leaving. Because actually we both can talk about that. Cornell, when you made your transition out of corporate America, could you talk about that transition, because you made that transition into a very good position from the company into the franchise position. Could you talk about that?
What about the franchise?
I said just how you transition from the job to the franchise.
It was just me being around, and you got to get around the right people. We talk about it all the time. You got to get out your comfort zone. Like, I was around some different individuals, and to be honest, it wasn't no black or white thing. I was around some older white gentlemen that was working just because they wanted to work, because they didn't have nothing to do. What I mean by that, you got one that owned 30 some houses. You got one over here running two businesses. You got one over here that's building real estate from the ground up. And we talking about business all the time. And when me getting in different environments, that's why we move around a lot. You know, them guys told me, stop all that talking. You know what? I ain't even talking to you anymore. That's kind of how I do people with the trade.
Yeah.
It ain't even nothing to talk about. You come to me, you think you know everything, cool, stay knowing everything. But guess what? It doesn't change what I'm doing over here. You going to work, I can sit here at my house and make two, $3,000 the same day. So what can you tell me when I'm trying to share to you? I'm not gonna force it on you. And that's how I was kind of with my transition. Get what I was talking about franchise and everything. You know what they said? Don't come back to me again talking about this unless you're finna go do it. I'm not talking to you anymore. And sometimes people gonna be cutthroat with you like that. But that pushed me like, oh, you know what? They right. Let me go and at least attempt to do it. And guess what? I attempted to do it. I grow my franchise from $100 a month to almost 20,000 in less than 3 months. And then I knew entrepreneurship was for real then. Get what? I'm out here working almost 7 to 8 hours at the phone company. Now I'm making 20,000. I'm not even working 25 hours a week. And then they let me know to stop talking about stuff. And now you see, I put my money everywhere. Rich people got multiple streams of income. I invest along with trading. We put ourselves in the right position along with trading. It's benefits to trading, it's benefits to the trust, it's benefits to the foundation. But I can't make you go out and do what I'm doing. If you content, cause you making the hundred, go ahead. Even if you got a small business, and them be the hardest ones to talk to until that business fall, then you want to come talk to me. When you could have been already learning this process and you want to put yourself in that trap because you're gonna fail back on the trade while your business slow down. But a lot of people don't think like that.
Right, and that multiple sources of income thought process for sure is a wealthy thought process in the respect that they do all these people read the Millionaire Mind, they read books like the Millionaire Mind, they read these other books, the Millionaire Mindset. They try to read and find, they do these stats, and inside of these books you can see what's the traditional statistic of how many businesses or how many streams of income these people have, and you can look at any elite and they'll show that they have a diverse portfolio. Maybe not on the outside or the when you look at their portfolio, but they do have a diverse holding inside of their underlying portfolio, the supportive pillars inside of their investment portfolio. Investment portfolio meaning they have a gold and silver holding. They might have some paper asset holding. They may have some real property holding, real estate holding. And as you even mentioned, talking about the other gentleman that you were talking about, even they're talking about their investments. Their investments were in real estate and things of that nature. Could you talk about now more, and this is where we are, rights, liberty, liberty and pursuit of happiness, where you got into you went you were everybody kind of goes through, and traditionally in America goes through a public school education where they have to get a job, and they end up working for a job, quote unquote, and then they end up becoming an entrepreneur, because they get tired of being confined to 9 to 5 income. They get tired of that particular paradigm. Then they get into the entrepreneur mindset. Like you say, sometimes they get stuck in this small business entrepreneur mindset. They don't have a multiple streams of income, multiplying my money income thought process. So could you talk about now not just the multiple streams of income thought process, but not wanting to deal in operating businesses, which people get stuck in the business mindset and they don't get focused more on the investor mindset. Could you talk more about how now the trading has given you more of an investor mindset? You don't really care to be in operating businesses or people businesses because the operating businesses require a lot more emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, whereas the investments is where the money's making money for you, and you are able to be more focused on just picking right quality investments and things of that nature. Could you talk about that?
Yeah. So let's talk about the franchise. Like this, business mindset. Let's think about the business concept. You got to go hire some people to go out and work for you. That you had to manage, and your money pretty much depends on those people that's working for you. Part of your money depends on the people that had to work for you. The thing about trading, you eliminate that whole aspect. Now I don't have to wait on, like I own a cleaning business. Guess what? If them people go out and clean wrong, am I gonna get paid? No, I'm not gonna get paid. If they go out and do a good job, yeah, I get paid. But I'm depending on other people to do that. Now, some of you might be like, I work my own business. But think about it. I don't have to talk to anybody to trade. It's me. Chris know this. It's me, the laptop, and my cell phone. I
Right.
really don't even have to contact the broker. Besides sending the broker in the proper document so I can get a withdrawal from the broker's account. Now with a people business, you managing people every day. It's like when we was in Texas last week, what we said, a partner, own a business, marketing company, want to leave somebody in charge, boom. It could have cost $100 some thousand delay because the person in charge don't treat it like it's their business. They just out doing what they want to do. That's the difference. So now when I'm in trade and now I don't have to deal with that aspect, and from me having a business, I don't want to deal with people when it comes to making my money. I'd rather deal with the computer and making my money at a more rapid pace than that business is gonna make me. Now I can take some of that money and go out and create other multiple streams of income I never had to deal with anybody. Some of the stuff I'm investing in, it, I really not gonna have to deal with anybody. I'm dealing with certain aspects of it, not the people aspect of it. Because some people can't deal with people, and that's why you can't make your money like you want to make your money. If you're one of them people, you might want to learn how to trade.
Right, and that's just being honest. I got a comment on that one right there because, you know, like I say, you hear about this thought process of, oh, you have to be a people person as an entrepreneur or as an investor, and that is not true. And I'm here to share with you that there are different ways to do business. It doesn't mean that you have to be the face of the company and things of that nature. But if you would liken yourself to an introvert, which there are quite a few people in the world that are introverts, and it's okay being that, then knowing, oh dang man, I really don't like talking to people, you can put yourself in a position where you can still grow assets for your family and move in that fashion. Particularly when we talk about at the vault and trust and things of that nature, to be able to do that. So that's very important when we talk about the pursuit of happiness. If you don't like doing it, you shouldn't have to do it, right? Aren't we in the feel good society now where you have to feel good to do it? So are you feeling good not making enough money, or are you feeling good I'm doing something that I have complete control over and no one can stop me? Could you talk about maybe the flexibility of the trading, Cornell, as opposed to and even the capital, man? I think in every episode we always have to highlight what bonuses are being paid out on Wall Street.
Mm-mm. With trade, you can decide how you want to make your money. You can make your money daily, or like me, I might let my trades run a week, 2 weeks, sometimes
You there, Cornell? You faded out.
somebody want to call while I'm talking.
Go ahead.
I know my trades going throughout the week because I just like today, market closed. I can sit down and get the chart and pretty much go and get myself prepared for the week.
So you said it take.
So
You said you'll let a trade sit how long?
however long it takes, from a week to a month. But you can go in if you like to trade. Because people new to trade, they gonna like to trade. They gonna like to sit at the laptop because they gonna enjoy it because they're making a little bit of money. You can go in on a day to day basis and make money. But as you progress, you'll get out of that from where you sit there monitoring the charts around the clock to where you're gonna be confident in what you're doing. When I show you what I'm doing, you're gonna see like, oh man, I never knew that. You'll watch the news different. Now you see why these cats making 60, $100 million bonuses because they manipulating. It's driven off emotion. Have you ever watched the news and not had emotion, and then you go out and react off them emotions? They play you. I hate to say it, they play you. And when we had this conversation,
Who
a
is
lot of
they?
people,
Who is they? Hold on. Let's clear it up. Who is they though, Cornell?
the regular working people that sit around the house is not. If you don't got that mindset, they play off your emotions with your money.
Well, who is they on the opposite side?
The working class.
No, 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 not the working class. The opposite of the working class.
Oh, the institution. That's
Inst-
who run everything.
institutional banks.
Stocks, forex, futures, binary options. That's why you see that the information line up in every market. They the one that control everything. When you put your money in the bank, don't they trade it? Yes, they do. When you put your money in 401k, don't they trade it? Yes, they do. You're like, well, I got my money in bonds. Guess what? They got an insurance policy on your money. They gonna get credit for your money, build an insurance policy, take the money out, right back out, put right back in your account. But get what? They just got credit for that money. They making interest out their money, compound interest out their money. So when the bank tell you they not making money, they always making money.
That's true. That is
They
very true.
trade.
They trade as well. Okay. All right. So if you all want to email us, Christian at trustchristian.com, and we can pass you along Cornell's trading webinar information. You have some trading webinar coming up. I think this is the last one of the year, Cornell, you said?
It's the last one. So like I said, like with me, it's gonna be a busy year. We got 3, 4 multi-million-dollar type deals on the table. I'm not gonna really have time to like teach the class. I may not even have a weekend free for the next few months.
Right. Well, yeah,
And
Christian.
you know that 'cause you been traveling around with like
Yeah.
this opens the doors to you ain't got necessarily do what I'm doing, but it may be something that you always wanted to do. Now you can sit on your trade account and get your own money. You not worry about going to get no financing or anything else and put your money into some real investment.
Right.
And that's what I'm starting to do. And think about that. I still got that trade that I just learned that we see the money we talking about, but at the same time, it's creating other streams. If you think about it, this is how the rich people survive. They got 6, 7 streams of income. So I don't even have to work depend on the trading anymore. But the trading is still a strong aspect. I can still go make money when I want to, but I got 5 businesses over here that's producing millions. And that's what it did. And Cornell doesn't have a degree.
Yeah.
College a little bit. College ain't for me. One thing I learned about being around business people, most of the business people are not college people. I'm telling y'all. Y'all hear me keep saying mindset. It's a mindset thing. Even when you look at this trade, and Chris brought up a good point, I never thought about it. People are literally learning how to trade by just coming to one of these webinars
Yeah.
from scratch in a 6 hour video. You show me somebody online that can teach you like that,
Yeah. I
I'm
think
gonna be
it's.
shocked.
Yeah. I would be shocked. I don't know if I'll be shocked, but I would be because of the way it was displayed and.
I would be shocked because see, a lot of people don't know this information to
Right.
the point, and it's at a higher level than what's on the internet. That's
Right.
why it's so strong. Like to be honest, if you learn this, you at a higher level than some of these guys trying to sell you stuff online. I'm pretty sure they would pay you for the information, and
Right.
they might have been teaching 5, 10 years because they don't have it. But like
Right.
I said, it's all about getting around the right people because even for me to get information, and this is why you should take it serious. The guy that gave me information doesn't even teach. He's making so much money, he don't even teach this.
Right.
But just because the environment's all around, guess what? He shared it. And look, I learned trading myself, so it's certain things I put together what he showed me. Boom, it you ain't never seen it. Like it's to the point like that. Like the next webinar, it's back to trust type being like, you know what, I need to put a non-disclosure on this. You're not gonna see this on the line. And I'm pretty sure anybody that tell you that they have been to the webinar gonna tell you like, nah, bro, I ain't never seen that nowhere on the internet.
Facts. That's a fact.
So now that ain't motivation. Well, and to be honest, Christian tell you, I have gotten paid 6 figures to teach this to some Ivy League for 2, 3 days.
Right.
I'm charging $300. I'm really trying to just help people out because like I said this was never shared without culture. Then you come in at a price I don't have to argue with you about. $300. Get what? If you ain't got $300 to learn something that's gonna create you money every day, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I can't help it. You're gonna be stuck in your ways and you ain't gonna never learn it.
Right. Well, I think people do. So I'll give out the email again for you all that might cut the episode short, which is Christian at Trust Christian, and we can get you all to the next webinar. When's the next one, Cornell? I think you said it's in May. A lot of people have been inquiring about it.
May 18th, 19th,
All right, May 18th,
6
and
to
then
8:30 p.m.
was that Eastern or Central?
Central. You know you be complaining about Eastern time.
Nah, man, it's just the time you teach the class. It's the time you teach the class. I'm an early riser, and I enjoy getting up early. Praise the Lord for getting up early, type deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to share with you all because I was talking to, Cornell even earlier, and I think, sometimes you get into a space where you've been successful at other things, you're really focused on other things. Sometimes you have quite a few multiple streams of income coming in, but then there's a new stream of income, such as Cornell's, that comes across the table. And, talk about humbling yourself and learning from someone that has more experience than you, and clearly that would be someone that can consistently say that they've done it themselves and help other people out. And one of the mentors that I have, he talks about how much you can help yourself and how much you can help others. So I want you to comment on uh, when you talk about having a mentor towards the trading, how much study time you put in to learn this skill, how much you still dedicate towards the developing your mindset with surrounding yourself with mentors and people that are going to facilitate your learning.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause like even with the class, I'm gonna tell y'all what Cornell is doing with this class. Like Chris, no, I get straight to the point. Most people don't get straight to the point. I mean, like when you go to these conferences and these little sessions and all that, these people are stretching this information out days to make it seem like you're getting something they can charge you more. I don't have time to do that because whether you trade or not, like it doesn't affect what I'm doing. So a lot of people don't understand. Cornell is basically giving you what he didn't say here 8 months before he took a live trade, was studying 5 to 6 hours every single day before I even took a live trade. That's crazy. Even when you come to the class, I don't talk about the trades. The trades is not important. We're not worried about not making no money. What's the most important thing I say on that? What you need to learn?
Learn how to read the charts, do the charts.
Read the chart. We don't even go over a trade. I show you how to take one so you can have it on the video. But that ain't even the most important thing. It's the study time. Christian know that. If I tell you something is repetition, and you need to look at this chart and be able to recognize when you see it so you can go make your money, that's all you should focus on. But the greed factor and the working factor comes into play. People working, I understand you need money. But guess what? Sometimes you gotta sacrifice. Sometimes you gotta have patience. All fast money ain't good money. So when you leave this webinar and catch on, like some people have caught on in less than a month, 2 months. Some people still learning at 5, 6 months, but they see the progression in it.
Right.
Once you got it, you got it.
Right.
That's the power of it.
That's the power of it, man. And I'm so looking forward to that moment because, I think as a student, I think, sometimes in the world where I've seen individuals, they're hesitant to learn something new and be passionate and be obsessed about learning the subject matter, when in all actuality that's how you learn. And you should know this because that's what you consistently done throughout your life, is you was obsessed about it. And I even hear when you talked about, I was doing this like 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm like, man, that's like half of a working person's job day. And you're talking about not making money with this? Like, you were studying it that long to not make money with it 5 hours a day for at least the 6 to 8 month period? That's a lot. And a lot of individuals are afraid to
And
put in that take.
you got to be determined too, because at that time you got to think about when I started. What I said, I started out learning how to trade futures, fast trade. Like we was getting in and out, making a little bit of money at a time. But because it had been explained to me how powerful this was, I kept learning. So even when I show you something, like even when you see when I teach, what I always say, this is the stuff you need to study. I'm gonna show you how I do it, but it might be somebody out there that can show it to you a little bit different, a little bit better. I'm gonna give you the direct information to go look at. That's all you need to look at.
Right.
And click. Cause like everybody's not gonna trade all the way alike. That's a good thing about this. You develop your own style. You know what? Cornell said he let the niggas trade run for a week, 2 weeks at a time. You know what? You might want to trade every day. That means you got to make your own adjustment. That means your eyes got to be trained to see things on a day-to-day basis. But when I studied for them 8 months, I had determination. I had that one mentor. That's all he knew. That's how he taught me the basics. I'm glad I learned those basics. But when I found out the bigger picture that was missing, boom. But guess what? That was from a continuing learning process. I still continually learn now. But guess what? This process I'm using really doesn't change a lot. It's really more of me learning the process of different markets. Cause they still gonna move the same, but it has got me to that level where I started here, 8 hours, learning some stuff just like everybody else learned on the internet. Kept on learning, kept on getting around the right people. Boom. Two and two get put together. Now we at this point, and pretty much I'm eliminating that for everybody else where you ain't even got to go through that.
Hey, I definitely I hear exactly what you're saying, and that's why I wanted to do this episode because I feel like when
And to be honest, I wasn't, that I wasn't even going to do another webinar, but the last class
yeah,
picked up on it very well.
yeah,
New people to people that's already been doing it and was still struggling a little bit have been doing very well. And like what I told you, when you asked me about it, at that particular point, I had received like 25, 30 emails on Monday of people asking me about this class. But like I told them, this ain't something I do every month. Like I got big projects. You right, I got big projects going on. So this might be the last time I might be able to do it. I had to find this weekend in May just to do this.
right, right,
June, July, August, September. It, it, it's it, y'all will see the change toward the end of the year of what we talk about.
right. And I think that's the
Right now
most
we
important thing, right? Is
work.
working, and being having that flexibility. Could you talk about why having so many streams of income is so valuable? Even though the trading, some people might even say, well, why would you do more than trading? Or because it's still kind of dependent on you to
So you
unless you
think
diversify out.
like this. Think about all the people that people follow on TV that you look up to. You think they just got one company? You think Mark Zuckerberg just got Facebook?
Like
You
exactly.
think Bezos just got Amazon? No, Bezos just lost half his income, but it doesn't affect him because he probably got 10 more different streams of income over there. That's what they do because it's gonna get to a point where you start elevating at them levels. You got so much money. Your money's not making no money if it's just sitting still. You can't save your way to that life that you want to sit down, say, hey, I'm retired. You got, it, you got to be a real good saver, but you won't be able to live. You won't be able to live like you want to live because you have no new income coming in. But what happens when you have no new income? And like even with the multiple stream income, think about it. If you got 7 streams of income coming in, and they coming in at a pretty good rate, it doesn't matter 2 or 3 of them doing then slow down.
All
You
right,
still got money coming in.
I know Cornell, but look, man, there's so many people that only have one stream of income. Let's just be real. Let's give 80% of the population. So,
We talked to those people, like I told you, last year. And I say this over and over again because I want y'all to hear this. This is not nothing made up. I have people that I can put on here with you. Matter of fact, I just talked to one of my good friends. He used to work for me at the phone company. These guys are working 20 something years and he still got the phone company trying to lay somebody off every 3 months. Guess what? You already had a couple recessions and a couple fallbacks from the government that slowed everybody's money down. I'm pretty sure the ones y'all hear me out there, y'all have hit that 401k money that you probably had there a couple times already. Ain't this your retirement? So explain to me how you gonna survive if they come in after 20 years and tell you that you don't got a job and you already hitting your 401k. This is real life. Now I got people that have created a lifestyle, the new house, the car. It was created off your income, that one income, and you have no savings. So you did it for 20 years. Now you back to square one. No, that's the thing about entrepreneurship. Like, you go out. Develop these streams of income, we not worried about going all the way back down to square one. Guess what? We made to slow down because two or three of them slowed down out of the seven. But I'm pretty sure when you get to a full entrepreneur mindset, you're not over living anyway. So it doesn't even matter. But like I said, you didn't have this one income. And that's what's happening to a lot of people that's calling me. Like they see like, dang, Cornell, man, I got people that's been around me that know me that's really calling me with real concern now because they see the progression. Like, bro, you ain't working for nobody in 7 or 8 years. You been telling me about this. But see, now they situation have changed in their life.
Okay, so it's an emotional thing for most people to make this decision,
Yeah,
Cornell. This an
it's
emotional
emotional.
thing. I don't know if it's a fear of money, a fear of lack, a fear of abundance. It's a fear which is false evidence appearing real. Could you talk about maybe just your
And see, we
emotional
come
risk
from
tolerance?
a private environment. You know, we just came from the 1% comfort with Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas brought up a good point. He a motivator. So like this conference we went to, he was showing like how had to change because people can hear me you talk all day. But what E.T. said, my business partner CJ said, we got to show the people the money because it is emotional. Y'all hear me? He just talking. But guess what? I'm gonna have people to come on the webinar and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Real people, ordinary people, no masters, no PhD. I got a buddy right now making almost $1,000 a day trade at one of the lowest levels of trade. At the very lowest risk of trading, he making $1,000 on that level. That's great. What he was doing, I was doing 5 times that. So if he got it at that level, they let me know he up there. But like his emotions, I'm building his confidence up. Well, man, you right down, so you can be making that $100,000 every month. But y'all didn't hear me. I said $1,000. How much is that in a month? That's
That's
twenty
30,
thousand
20,
dollars.
$20,000 here a month. And,
For a
all
week.
right, so is he consistently doing this? Don't blow smoke. Is he consistent? Everybody wants to know, is he consistent? It's the numbers sell more than the jobs go offer him, which is minimum wage, which is no more than $13 an hour in America. So come on now.
He consistent. And guess what? It ain't just no one example. It's people around me. We come from a private environment. We ain't gotta brag about what we doing. It's people around me now that been making it last 2, 3 years. You know, I be telling you how my buddy be on Instagram, he a little bit more flamboyant, but yeah, they taking the big boy trades and making the 30 to 100,000 over a couple weeks. No problem. Think about that. This man put a trade in and he know where it's going for the next whole month. While everybody working hard, he put that trade in, boom, at the end of that month, he done made $60,000. That's power.
Yeah.
And he ain't gotta be at his level. Like he ain't even at a higher level. We talking about Wall Street guys making $100 million bonuses.
So what do you think about the greed factor or the greed factor in trading? So a lot of people say, well,
Greed
what stops a
factor.
person from
Yeah,
greed?
yeah, you're right. Greed factor. You know what? It's gonna get easy to you. But that's why we talk about mindset. That's why when I said we in the webinar, we ain't sitting there worried about taking no trades and showing no money. I don't show no money in the webinar. And people like, huh? Did you see me showing the money in the webinar?
Nah, definitely didn't.
What I said, it ain't important. The money making part is not important. If we talking about repetition, I need you focus on what? The chart. You know, I tell you all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Then guess what? If I got to show you the money, that's what I do. I know how you operate. If I know somebody operate, what I do? Okay, Christian, shoot, man, I just woke up and made 3,000 in the morning. Not just to brag, but to let you see, like,
Hey,
hey, keep on moving, go on to get to your money.
yeah, right.
But
Yeah,
when we talk, what we talk about? We talk about the chart.
yeah, we do.
You not, hey, you don't know the difference. Like I said, I can tell somebody taking a seed and not taking a seed. If your question when you email me is how much money you make, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right.
Cause you know I showed you that what we always wind up talking about the chart.
Yeah.
Not you ask me like, well, Carter, you if you took such and such, how much money you made? It, I'm trying to get y'all to hear me that it doesn't matter. Once you learn it, you can make whatever you want. So why we need to talk about the money? Why we need to talk about my money? I don't know what you want to make.
Right.
That's up to Christian on what he want to make.
Right.
I show you how to put the trade in. Guess what? I might stay in my trade a little bit longer than you, but guess what? You might not be trying to make the same thing I'm making.
Yeah. It's the entrepreneur mindset, man. Thinking about the family wealth, growing the family, than anything else. And I think that's something that I really wanted to highlight on this episode. Was
And you
that
can't stop right there. You know that. You can't stop right there. Now you're making the money. What you gonna do with the money?
right? What are you
Depending on
gonna
how
do?
you trade, guess what? You get taxed. You get taxed at the end of the year with that. So you gonna get the braggadocious because you making some money, or you gonna keep handling your business like an entrepreneur. Now you making the money, your assets protected, your kids are straight. It's a language we going.
Yeah.
We pretty much talking a hidden language to you over here. Like I don't even care who you got around you. They might be running their business, but I can promise you, at the end of the day, they got a nice little tax liability at the end of the year that we're not dealing with.
Well, that was one of the things that I even thought about as we were doing this episode, which was, trading puts a person in complete control. So not only if you're an introvert, you can do it, but if you're a control freak, someone that really demands a high level control over their life, you want to control where you live, you want to control the car you drive, you want to control who you spend your time with, you want to control those things. The pursuit of happiness, if your happiness comes from how much control you have over your life, whether that's the income, whether that's the relationships, whether that's you having a home gym in your house, whether that's you having an office in your house, whether that's you spending more time with your kids, whether that's I remember when even at 14 years old, people say, oh, you got to retire at 65. I was like, man, I'm already working and this is hard. So, especially in a work job environment, at 14 years old, I'm like, man, I need to retire as soon as I can. But I don't say retire in that respect, like do nothing, but I'm talking about having that true, complete control
That's
of
what I didn't
financial
want to do.
independence. Yeah,
I ain't trying to wait to no 60 to enjoy no money.
nah, not at all. Not at all. So, complete
You see
control.
how we move, and the people that I deal with, even though they don't do trade, I respect some of the people around me. They like I was in Texas. What I tell you, that guy 30 some years old, got millions of dollars. He just started out flipping houses the regular way. But you see, he wasn't talking no regular conversation because he killed progress. Now the man got his own construction coming to build a house in one of the richest neighborhoods in Houston. He's 30 some years old, and he was just like me. He had work. This man made 100. I'm gonna tell y'all probably it sound like I talk against job. Ain't nothing with getting a job and getting to the progression where you need to go out and create your own thing. So you might hear talk. I know people gonna be like, oh man, they talk about if you use your job for the right way, hey, you got to have income coming from somewhere to get started. So this guy was making 100. You heard me tell you, 150,000 a year, and he just like me, like bro, I ain't trying to work no another 20 years up in here before I can really just see my money. He got into flipping houses, and guess what? He progressed. He kept learning the business. So now I go from boom, I got a house, and now what I'm gonna do? Boom, let me get some apartment unit. You know what, man? I got the apartment unit. What he told you? He paid 800 for the apartment unit worth 3.5. But guess what? He wasn't bragging. He moved on to the next project. Now we sitting talking about land development. I like to see stuff like that. Look at ET. ET tell you eating out of a garbage can. This man getting paid 50 to $100,000 for 1 hour to talk. They didn't give up.
Yeah,
They
didn't give
didn't
up.
say, hey
Yeah,
man, I'm just gonna go get a job, man. I got kids to take it. But I got kids to take care of.
we all do.
But I don't want to be waiting at 60 when Social Security ain't gonna be around for me anyway to get no check. And nah, I ain't taking that chance with the government. That is me. Social Security ain't gonna be around by the time I hit that age. So
And even if you get it, what is it really going to be worth? So,
I finna say it ain't gonna even really be worth it.
you know, hey,
Not with the lifestyle I'm creating. Like, nah, Social Security can't do nothing for me. That'd be some money hey, my kids can get it. If they can get it, they can have it. Cause
yeah.
it ain't gonna be enough to do nothing with.
I, I just said, as we go through this episode here, we haven't done a long episode in a while. We usually do the shorter episodes on Tuesdays, but I just think the core audience that listens to the entire episode, because these episodes are dedicated to you. These episodes are dedicated towards you pursuing your happiness and you being in control of your income. We always talk about, even on the private side, we talk about that motivation. Et talked about that motivation, and one of the things that I encourage everyone to do is to know that you are supposed to be going after your goals and your dreams, and doing that fearlessly, and not having any apprehensions or holding back because of anything, and you
Build
know
you a team.
build you a team. You're funny. That is so
Build
true.
you a team.
Right.
That's
So
the problem we have. In our culture, we hate on each other. Build you a team. Get around positive people, and you'll get positive results. Because guess what? You're gonna stay motivated and focused on what you're doing.
yeah.
Everybody got their own different aspects. That's where you go to where you start creating multiple streams of income. Now, this might be their stronghold. This might be your stronghold. But you coming together all at once. Boom. Next thing you know, you look up, you got them 4, 5 stream of income. It ain't all about going out and doing it on your own.
Well,
That's number
always
one.
I always tell people that, Cornell, is that even at the elite levels, working with some higher end network clients, even us partnering and working together, all elite, all successful are making partnerships, because it's the Rockefeller mindset, ladies and gentlemen. I can read this quote to you all, but even J. Paul Getty, another elite of previous 100 years, who said, "I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own." And that's the mindset is building a team. When you see hiring family offices and they're creating GPs and LPs with people, let's just say, when you all think that clientele makes 100 million dollars a year, I meant to say $100 million a year, that they're not creating partnerships. They actually have the most partnerships. They have a ton of partnerships with individuals or family offices or businesses at a lower level that are making 200K a year, that are making $500,000 a year, making $1 million a year. They have a $100 million portfolio. Of course, they're going to be diverse. So even at the level that you're at, it's very imperative to be making partnership agreements and things of that nature. I know a lot of people would say, you hear more of a modern mindset that says, oh, get in that business and specialize at that business. So when people think of Cornell, they want to isolate Cornell to just being a trader and not being what we would consider an investor or entrepreneur. But that's like when I was talking and dealing with a lawyer the other day, and I introduced that individual to someone else. Someone said, "Oh, this is bad. This is broke mindset right here." Broke mindset says, "Oh, when you're introduced to someone such as lawyer, you say, 'Oh, you're just a lawyer. I hope I never have to call you until I need you.'" That's a broke mentality. See, a rich mentality says, I'm going to create a partnership and I need to know this lawyer because I go to network environments the event is called Lawyers and Friends. Why would you not need a good lawyer? Why would you not need to have a lawyer on your team? Why would you not go accounting environments on your team? Why would you not go to having a good paralegal on your team? Why would you not go to having good civic organization relationships on your team? Civic relationships on your team, meaning people that are in political power. Why would you not have those relationships on your team? So when people say, "Oh, I don't want to have to lawyer. I don't want to have to know a lawyer until I need a lawyer," that's a broke mentality. That's why they're going to be in litigation, and that's why the lawyer's going to talk some more on the back end because they're not proactive. Because they're not building a team. So when we talk about building a team, it's not just building a team of your friends and your family working for you. We're talking about building a team of your outside, your sphere of influence, which are finding good lawyers, which are finding good accountants. When do you learn that? You either learn that through experience or you learn that through the hard way. Experience is not just always going to have to be yours. It's us talking to you about that. It's you being around, once again, other entrepreneurs, being in an uncomfortable position, being around other people and saying, wow, I do need to be proactive now in finding good lawyers, finding good accountants. I need to be proactive in finding good relationships in the civic tax jurisdiction that I'm in and things of that nature. So we got a couple questions here in the chat, Cornell. If anybody wants to get in contact with Cornell when we talk about the trading and the trading webinar, you all can contact Christian at Trust Christian, and we'll patch you over because he has quite a few, a couple of different outlets for information, but we're just going to give you the direct information to him. So go to Christian at Trust Christian or go to welcome-to-the-vault.com. The webinar is going to be what is you said 18th and 19th of May. So we'll be able to crank that out and get that up for you guys as far as you being able to get that information and get on the webinar for the actual webinar for the trading and things of that nature, trading at any market. And you all can get his social contact information. Just contact the vault once again. But building a team is one of the more critical aspects that we talk about on a daily basis. And, even talking about investor risk tolerance, talking about the emotional factor. I think these are highlight points that we talk about, on a continuous basis. And then not only that, but having those stretching conversations. I remember when me and Cornell met, and I would say, this is the type of house and the houses that I want to acquire. And then, Cornell's like, what we talked about that. Well, what do you want that type of space for? Knowing my needs at that moment. But then on the back end of that, hearing Cornell now say, hey, we going on, we going to be looking at this, and it's like, oh wow, that's awesome, man. So you guys are looking for a progression, and what is it that you're looking for as far as your lifestyle and your goals, and it's just beautiful to see that it's real. That's my biggest thing is I think so many people are on the internet, so many people they say, how real is that money for me? I don't come from that place. Like you say, I don't come from a high educated place. So they say, how can that money be real for me? And that's just something that I might even have to end it on this is because, Cornell, I remember, talking to him about the trading and stuff of that nature. And he's like, it's based off of how much you study. And coming from the family I come from, we always pride ourselves on just not having always pride ourselves on having a solid work ethic, always having a dedication to being able to put in the study time to make those sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. So many people want to party, and you say, oh man, I gotta hunker down, I gotta put in the work that the government says they're gonna put in for me for my retirement. You think the government's not investing your money in the Social Security Administration trust, that they're how are they able to give you that money back? So is Social Security money an investment or is it a savings? Because if that was the case, now you just giving your money to the government to save your money. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to take into account inflation. So like you said, you're never going to beat what's considered for savings.
That's a good
So,
point.
you
You
know,
like income tax. I don't think people do realize that that's your money that you pretty much overpaid throughout the year while you was working. That they just giving you back. That they probably made interest off of. Like this, they in these trust accounts and stuff like that.
it's a Social
So
Security
you feel
Administration
happy
trust.
that
It's a Social Security
you
Administration
feel
trust. They
happy
trade your money. Trust
in
Christian
the year
own
to get
nothing,
that
control
money back.
everything.
That's it.
But they trading your money privately and might even be telling you that they're squandering it. They might, oh, we didn't do good on the quarterly earnings this year. The United States didn't, but they're $1 trillion in debt. But we're going to be able to give you your money back, right? That's how the game goes nowadays. We're going to be able to give you your money back, but we $1 trillion in debt. Do you hear the theme? Do you hear the message? Broke people trying to tell you how to manage yours. And guess what? The people that are in positions of power that are in the government are not broke. I've never met one broke politician. And if you all can share one with me,
They getting
that'd be awesome.
legislation passed.
Ain't no broke
Trump getting a
politicians.
lot of legislation passed. But guess what? It's only gonna benefit you if you're an entrepreneur.
So it's a great time, even when we talk about diversifying the portfolio. Okay, so everybody says, let's get into a recession proof business. Okay. I'm so proud and thankful that me and you both are in recession proof, particularly when we talk about trust and we talk about the trading. This is just two elements to the actual environment, a private environment. There's more to it, but we can even elaborate on the real estate, which you brought up today, which because so many people say, well, what's a recession proof business? Real estate is one of those, but the trading is one of those, and so is the trust one of those. And they all go together. See, when we talk about recession proof, is your job recession proof? Just like Cornell said, a recession don't even have to be for the traditional American economy, just like he mentioned in the last episode. A recession can come from a company saying, we demand $3 billion in quarterly earnings. If we get two, there's layoffs. That's the reality. Is that recession proof? Recession proof is slowing down. So when the slowdown comes, there's layoffs. Because why? You don't really control it. You
And I
think
don't
you
think a
own
lot of
your
people
position.
understand that about layoffs. That's come profits down at somebody else's company and they still want their money.
So, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness comes from you pursuing your own dreams on your own terms, and we just encourage you all to live that way at all times. So we just appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in live. Leo, Bill, KK, a bunch of everybody. I think it's KK Williams, Ernest Robinson, and Bo. Appreciate you all for tuning in live. We thank you all. This is for you all, but we do like coming on and sharing with you all just kind of some of the moves because at one point, it is about showing and proving. And so we do appreciate you all for inquiring and coming into the private, because that's where we are. And, what little bit we can talk about in the public, we always want to do that because it's always fun to talk about the mindset more than anything. Like we said, we don't even talk about money in a lot of the episodes. It's just the money is there and you deal with it. But the mindset for it is always the biggest thing. And we encourage you all to go read the Constitution for the United States if you live in the United States, or the Declaration of Independence, and really get thoroughly versed with those documents, because those are the trust indenture for the United States. That is the Declaration of Trust, and there is the indenture itself, which the Constitution, and we've always put it that way, is a financial document. When we talk about taxes, the United States broke away from Great Britain via the Boston Tea Party. It was based off of taxes, them being taxed without representation. And so when you all talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it should be complete control. And the Social Security Administration Trust, no knock on it, ladies and gentlemen, that's available to whoever contributes to it. But key word, you have to contribute to it. And there are, to a degree, that's like asking Donald Trump how much money did he contribute to Social Security Administration Trust last year through his Social Security number. The man said, I don't have anything to show. He doesn't even care to put anything in there. So he doesn't want to work a job because that's the way it happens. So it's a pleasure to connect with you all and really talk about the mindset of trusteeship, protecting, preserving, and then at least growing the assets, in a position that we're talking about, whether that's tax free or just put it in a position when you all think about. I wanted to end on this one for sure. Is I was thinking about how Zuckerberg and Bill Gates can completely say that they don't work for anything and that they work for their charity, because they're working for behalf of their charities, because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is the shareholder for Bill stock at Microsoft, and the Zuckerberg Foundation is the foundation that is the shareholder for Zuckerberg. So as you all can see, they're working for their charities. They're working for what they call the betterment of the world through 501c3. So you all can see that there's a way that certain people are looking to make moves, and then other ones that may not be. And so it's just interesting to see how are you living your life. And your right is to do that, and your life is about doing that, and liberty is about doing that, being able to have that control. But the pursuit of happiness should never be limited to income. And so many times so many people are looking at the right side of the menu when they're going to eat, and they're not just looking to see what they want on the left side and say, hey, that sounds like it tastes good, let me try it out. And so we encourage you all to live in that abundant universe, because that's what we live in, an abundant universe. So let's continue to have a great journey. But Cornell, do you want to end on anything, man? We appreciate you. The webinar once again is going to be May 18th, 19th. So we know we're not going to be doing much that weekend other than the webinar for our teams that we have around. Just people that want to be passionate into the vault. But did you have any last minute words, man?
That was it. Stay focused. Get something did. Get your own thing started. Stop depending on the job. 'Cause like, y'all don't realize it. It's finna get worse.
In the United States, it is going to get worse.
You keep hearing talk about recession. Don't wait till it get here to try to go out and start something on your own, because it's gonna get worse. But y'all don't. A lot of people don't notice it get worse because you still working, but you don't be realizing that stuff get higher, so your money don't go as far as it used to. Like, you got to go out and provide your own income.
And That's the most evilest part, Cornell, is that public school created a workforce. And I understand that it comes from a Rockefeller mindset. It comes from the Rockefeller endowment with the General Education Board of Friends and Board of Education. But to see the stats, to see the statistics of this environment, and it produces people that get dependent, and then we see people that are in angst when they reach 30, 40, 50 years old, and they are scared to retire. There are people that are scared to retire. They get to 65, 75, and they're scared to retire because they don't believe they have enough money. Right or wrong, Cornell? They know they don't have enough money. It's not even that they believe it, they know it.
Yeah, they know because they already had to hit it a couple times.
So we thank you all for tuning in live and listening to the replay. Contact this Christian at Trust Christian for the webinar with Cornell. It's going to be a blast. Though it's a 3 hour session each day. I know I've taken heed of it. I'm pretty focused on it and really excited to finally take it seriously after a while, just for knowing them for about 2 years. Like, okay, we got to get serious about this. And it was really only 24 months, but those 24 months could have been a great learning curve, a great success story. But at the end of the day, the success story is what you want to have for yourself. And that's the most important thing, is having a success for yourself. What do you really want to call your shot for right now? To be presented an opportunity where somebody even has the skill to be able to share the trading. We see the marketing and advertising online all the time now. Oh, we could teach you how to trade. We could teach you how to trade. Okay, well, that's a very real thing. And I think people are spooked out even about the numbers. Oh, I could make $1,000 a day, or $2,000 a day, or $500 a day, or $10,000. How can I do that every single day? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's $1 trillion market every day. There is $1 trillion moving in these markets every day. Your thousand is not going to affect an investment bank that has hundreds of millions or billions, because they still haven't gotten to trillions in the investment market. So, yes, it's very real. And I love to know that it's real. And I love to know the people, the stories that he has. Cornell's aunt, always a great success story. We could go through the list of Cornell's success stories, of course, but the list. So when you all come to a workshop with the Vault, and you all see the success stories for the trade. I even told Cornell we got to do a trading webinar face to face, and really go ahead and show out, because that's what people want to see. They want to see, oh, this happened. They want to see success story after success story after success story, and I can touch you, I can poke you. You're real. I'm either going to have to believe that there's 800 people that have been helped out, or thousands of people that have been helped out, or I'm just going to be the one that feels that I can't do anything with my life. I can't learn something if I dedicate an hour or two or three to it for a consistent period of time, like I've done at my job, because all my job did was give me on the job training. Trading is on the job trading. That's it. But we live in this era of belief, where people need to believe something. When you know that check is hitting your bank account, that's when you have confidence. So you don't build confidence on $1,000 a day. You build the confidence on $10 a day. Can you do that for 30 days straight? Let's add a zero now. Can you do that? Can you consistently get $100 a day from trading every single day? Once you've done that, let's go ahead and put a zero behind it. Can you do 1,000 now? It's the same style of trades. Why? Because the banks are making the same trades every day. Buyers and sellers. It's very important to do these episodes, because some people want to live the real life. They don't want to live the fantasy life. They don't want to be dependent upon a paycheck, and they don't want to be dependent on one stream of income either. So you come to the Vault, you don't get one style of knowledge. You don't get, oh, you just got to deal with insurance. Oh, you just have to deal with trading. Oh, you just have to deal with trust. Oh, you just have to deal with private placement accounts. Oh, you just have to deal with real estate. It's not that. It's the private. It's multiple sources of income. It always has been, always will be. The public educates you to work a job and only get one source. So when people say, oh, I don't have any time on my hands, I can't breathe. You're right, because you don't have enough money. But when you have enough sources of income, you can say, you know what? We could do a couple flips in the bed today, because the real estate's bringing in money, and that's paying a mortgage. That's paying for the car. They didn't have to get up. Oh wow, Cornell, we traded the first 3 days of the week. The average income in America isn't more than $50,000 a year. So that means we have to at least make $4,000 a month. So we'll make $4,000 a month. You're talking about making $4,000 a day, making $1,000 a day, Cornell. That's a little stretch. We're not gonna do $1,000 a day, but we at least got to make $4,000 a month. So we gotta make $1,000 this week. That means we got to go ahead and get a couple $100 a day. Oh wow, we did that in the first 2 or 3 or 4 days this month. What are we gonna do for the rest of the month now? When we worked our way up to it. See, Cornell, they might think that they need to start out making $1,000 a day. Why can't we just make $10 a day? Why can't we just make $100 a day? Why can't we make $1,000 a day? Because it's a skill. No one learn how to pop a wheelie on a bike the first time you get on it. You work up to that. You don't learn how to ride the bike with no hands until you learn how to ride the bike. It's a skill. Being a trustee is a skill. Being an entrepreneur is a skill. I remember talking to a senior trust mentor. He said, "Why do you think they call it practice in law? Why do you think they call it practice in medicine? It's something that you are supposed to continuously practice all the time. So when you see an athlete obsessed with their sport, it's because they're practicing all the time. How many times are you practicing a day on your wealth attracting skills? You're pulling in the money skills. That's a skill. It's got to be a skill. Why? Because so many people are broke. They don't have the skill. So many people say, I can manage it if I get it. That means they want to win a lottery. Oh, when I get it, that's when I'm going to manage my money properly. When I get it. And then they keep getting it, but they're not managing it right. And they keep saying, well, when I get it, I'm going to manage it right. And we're saying, hey, it's a skill. It requires risk. Diversifying your skill set is how you expand your skill set. So thanks, Cornell. Appreciate you, man, for tuning in live or listening to replay, you all. Rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness means we think is being in control. And I mean being obsessed about it. Because you don't want to own anything. Be obsessed with not owning anything. Ownership incurs liability. But people are going to make their whole life out to own something. To own a house, to own a car, to own jewelry. And guess what? Everything around you is being controlled via trust, via contracts. Because contract law is private law. So thank you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Christian that Trust Christian. We'll probably do another pop-up episode as we so choose. Me and Cornell always appreciate doing great pop-up episodes and communicating with so many people. We really wanted to kind of drag this episode out and kind of just give, the heart set and the mindset of what's really going on right now because, things are going to change, ladies and gentlemen. They're definitely going to change. And when we talk about even the economy, it's been up. Cornell is preached to us, and everybody knows if you're an entrepreneur, the stock market is at an all-time high. It's been at an all-time high for 4 years in a row, plus, 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 each year, year over in. So when you all hear that the market is going to be high, ladies and gentlemen, here's the common colloquial knowledge that everybody loves to say, but they don't think about because they're working a job. Here it is. It's called buy low, sell high. If the market is at an all-time high, then someone's getting ready to sell their position off. But you didn't see it yet because you don't know what a sell-off looks like. When Bitcoin went to $20,000, you didn't know that you were supposed to sell. So people were buying. More people were buying because it's going to go from 20 to 50, right? Right. And then the sell-off came. The true owners and buyers of the stock, they sold. But guess what? The market's changed. There's no complete down and there's no complete up. So guess what? If the stock market and all the markets that are all-time high, what market do you think we're in right now? You still believe we're in the buyer's market. Are we in the buyer? Actually, before we get in, Cornell, are we in the buyer's market or in the seller's market, Cornell? If we're in the all-time high right now for the markets, 2019, it's an all-time high. Are we in the buyer's market or a seller's market, Cornell?
You know, with the market.
Exactly.
But if it's at the all time high, More than likely, you in the seller's market because somebody gonna cash out their profit. Like the Nasdaq and all that. You hear me talk about it all the time. It's around the all-time highs. Somebody gonna pull back over the next couple of months and take some profit out. That's the language. It's not at the all-time high you go buy more. It's still the same principle. When it dropped, that's when you buy more. You're supposed to be buying Bitcoin now, not when it was 20,000. But I trade, so I don't buy and hold anything, so it doesn't even matter to me. So it could be at all-time high, and I still make money because I'm gonna sell it. But guess what? Listen to what I'm saying. I still make money. Then it can drop down, and I can buy it, take it up, and still make money. That's the power in trade. We're not buying and holding anything.
Right. I just wanted to point that out to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the subtle differences of thought process, that we have on a daily basis. Cornel, what would you say to someone that's having a hard time getting around the right people, attracting the right people that can really help them achieve their goals and their dreams, whether it's financially or otherwise? What would you say about that?
Reanalyzing the conversations you have, people. Guess what? You know if you got motivated people around you about when you're having a conversation with them about when you're trying to do something. Guess what? If you hear negativity or somebody telling you can't do this and do that, you ain't around the right people. Or if the conversation ain't inspiring you to do something, that means you just hang around the same people. They're gonna influence you. Like y'all don't understand. A lot of this stuff is based off basic emotions and principles. Like, even when we was at that conference, you saw like what they was telling you. Like we gonna go in and analyze pretty much your personal emotions, and it can kind of tell you what kind of person you was off your person. That's how everything operates. So just because you in a conversation with a smart person, you're like, oh, he got a PhD. That don't mean he's smarter than you. At the end of the day, when it's time to make that money, it's all basic principles, emotion, confidence, mindset.
Yeah. Well,
How Bill Gates got started, guess what? He had confidence, he had a mindset. He dropped out, didn't
right.
he? And he went and hired them cats that were the smart guys. He didn't come up with that concept by himself.
No, he didn't.
Guess what? He, he
Don't
we ain't
go
gonna
there.
get into
Did we have to go there? You all don't know the story about Bill Gates? Oh, Billy? Billy, how he came across the border from Canada somehow with the idea, and they said, "What is on those discs you got there?" He says, "What he?" I think he said a couple $1 billion worth of information, but they was like, well, those are some floppy disks. They didn't know what floppy disks were at the time, but that was the code for Microsoft, and they took it as a joke. Didn't tax them on it, bringing it through customs or whatnot. Bill Gates took that idea. Are you guys serious? Every elite has taken an idea and improved it. We're not going to speak it in a deframing way. We're not going to say the
yeah,
word stolen. We're
he
going to say it
improved
was,
it.
come on now, Cornell. It wasn't stolen, it was just improved upon. Correct?
That's it.
Same
It
thing.
just hey,
Same thing
but
with
that
Cornell.
should let y'all know. Guess what? At your job when you do training, if any of y'all manager what they tell you, they go tell you to find your strongest link in the group. Cause some people not leaders. A manager is good at just managing people. That don't take a special technique or a special degree to do. That takes somebody with a strong mindset and confidence. I know people sitting here looking like, dang man, I'm doing all the extra work. Yeah, you doing all the extra work at work, and they don't look at you as a leader. Now you mad every day because you ain't got the promotion. But guess what? You ain't show no leadership quality. You thought because you went and got the degree. No, I done seen that happen. I done worked in corporate world. I know how it works. I know how managers get trained. Guess what? If you the benefit to your manager looking good, he's not gonna help you get promoted when you're doing all the work for him. And FYI, for all the hard workers out there that's at work and want to know why you're not moving up, that's it. They look at you as a worker.
Eh,
They know you smart, but they don't see you as a leader.
and yeah, it's just a mindset. We were talking about this the whole
That's a
show, and
mindset. Oh
I just
yeah.
really want to share it with people. You know, always have a
But really
platform
go
like that.
research the people that you look up to and see their background. And then guess what? It don't happen overnight. Now we be talking about the guy from Alabama. Go read the story of the guy from Alabama and see how many times that guy got turned down, but he didn't let nobody break his confidence. And he one of the richest guys in the world now.
Yeah.
Cause he believed in what he was doing.
Well, can you?
Hundreds of times this man got turned down.
You can believe in the wrong thing too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be very clear
Yep.
on that. You can believe in the wrong thing. So there is a right thing and a wrong thing. So we just want to be very clear. You know, you just walk around with a whole high level of belief in some cockamamie idea that has no value and has not put out any result. You can keep believing in the wrong thing, but there is the wrong thing.
But
So
it's your
yeah,
approach to that. It's your approach to that cockamania. Cause you can have confidence, but like I said, there's a difference between confidence and being cocky.
yeah, right.
Can't nobody tell you anything, and you just this is a bit. Guess what? If you can't build off your idea with other people, then you too cocky.
There you go. There we go. Let's
You
get
you
into it.
might need to be you might need to Bill Gates to take you to that next level because you don't know how to go deal with those corporate structure people.
Right. And that's the biggest thing, me and Courtney always talk about. When we talk about building a team, if you don't have people around you that's giving you hard feedback on what you're doing, how are you gonna get better? Some people say, I don't listen to what other people say. Oh, like hell I don't. The people that are closest to you as far as business to help you grow the business, if you're not listening to their feedback, how are you gonna grow the company? It's all on you? Nah, we always go down with teams. It's strength in numbers. That's why Golden State Warriors is winning championships every single year because they got a whole lineup of all stars. It's hard to beat a team when they got a whole team that can make the All Star game every year, not just one player that wants to take all the cap room for money. It's a team approach to the game of life, let alone in business, let alone in sports. It's a team approach. So having vigorous and hard feedback from people around you about the ideas that you're working on are only going, is there a demand for it? There has to be a demand for it. Somebody asked the other day, hey, Christian, you think a good idea would be a CBD shop? Well, let's look around the market. Are there CBD shops already in the market? Yes. Then there's a demand. We're not the first genius to step into the market. Somebody already has beat you there.
Yep.
So now it's time for you to get in the market and collect the check too, and put your cup up under the fountain of wealth. Instead of sitting there asking, is there a demand in the market? Obviously, there's a demand in the market if it's 4 or 5 and they're all within a 25-minute radius of each other. There's a demand for it. They've done the market research, and if they're making capital, they're proofing the concept. How many people have proofed your concept without you having to go proof it the hard way? We do our best to bring true dynamic business conversations, not just, oh, go make some money. It's easy for people to say, go out and pursue your dreams. Yeah, right. Until you find out, oh, dang, I don't even know what entity to be in. LLC, S Corp, C Corp, Trust. Oh, well, who am I going to go talk to? I'm going to go talk to a lawyer. But guess what? Are they your counsel? Are they retained counsel? How does that work? Do you even know that? Did you learn that in the MBA school? Or did you learn that from experience on your own? Or did you learn that from other entrepreneurs? See, there's a way to learn it. And we just love sharing at the same time of us doing well because that's what it's all about anyways. If Bill is able to give directly to the charity, that's what we're going to do through the vault. We're going to give directly to charity. We're going to talk to the public, and we're going to say, hey, there's ways to alternative ways. Explore those alternative ways, enjoy your life, live greatness, and be productive in that same entire breath, because there's a great opportunity for you around the world to live your life and your goals and dreams and not be confined to what your parents have been brought you up with, or your social environment that you've been brought up in. You have that choice, and if you truly have that decision, then you have to go out and expand, like we even talked about in this episode, getting outside your comfort zone, and staying there, and enjoying that moment of true growth, because that's what change is. Change is growth. in good ways and in bad ways, and recognizing that. So we appreciate you all for tuning in live, listen to replay. If you all want to be a part of Cornell's webinar on May 18th, 19th, email us, Christian at Trust Christian. We'll email you over to Cornell. You all can get the details. We know there is a price for it. I believe it's 300, and that's an individual, and you all can take advantage of that. We already talked about it. It's only one time. I don't even recommend Cornell do a bunch of webinars, but we always appreciate him doing. I was excited for him to even do the second one, let alone the third one. We was really excited for him to do that. But like Cornell said, if you're not even willing to invest, minimal dollars into it, no worries. Just because we don't show our faces on the podcast right now, and things of that nature, we enjoy our privacy. And if you all understand what institutional trading, we're talking to a specific individual now, someone that wants to understand